of Halloween Spooktacular. We will get started in just a minute or three. We'll allow some people to join. So welcome everybody. Hello. Who's ready for day 2? Hi there, welcome in. Happy Saturday. Welcome, my friends. Yay! Hey, Christy. Welcome. I'm just going to share it. Pardon my reach of my arm. Hello. Hi, Jeanette. Welcome in. Ignore my arm. Oh, I have to switch glasses. I won't be able to read the comments. Hello, my spooky friends. How are you? Hi, Gwen. Welcome. Hi. We're just waiting for Vee. There she is. Happy Saturday. Can you believe it? It's day 2 already. It's crazy. Hi, Grace. Welcome. Thank you all for hanging out on your Saturday. We truly do appreciate it. 1 second here as I'm just sharing it to my Facebook page. Pardon my arm. Who's excited for day 2? Oops. Hey there, friends. Welcome in. We are super excited to have you. All right. So today we're working with template 8. So I am Julie with PhotoFabPaperFlowers, and I am kicking off day 2. And then once I am finished, we'll head over. We'll give Vee a few minutes from Forever Petals by Vee to get set up, and then she'll do a live tutorial with the large template 8. Each of the template bundles are available in our individual Etsy shops. Hers can be hand cut for the large paper flower templates. My mini flower bundles are all machine cut. As you can see, they're super intricate, and they're all based upon the large petal design. So large template 8 was designed by my friend, Forever Petals by Vee. And it's super fabulous. So it's a good complement to template 7 for your projects for Halloween or maybe autumn. So again, though we call this Halloween Spooktacular, these can be made for any occasion. As you saw yesterday, you can just use regular paper like craft paper, or you could use white. It would be beautiful for any season. We're just making it a little bit more spookier. with our inking. So you can see this one can be used every day, but so could this one depending on your project. So we hope you enjoyed day 1 of Halloween Spooktacular. And now we are on to day 2. So welcome. And so with Halloween Spooktacular, our live videos are happening here on YouTube. So thank you for joining over here. This takes out the extra step of us having to upload the videos because Facebook does only keep our videos for 30 days now. With my mini flower bundle, I provided you a 16-page document, gorgeous document that it is. And with template 8, there are 4 project files. As you can see here at the bottom of, oh, I didn't label my page numbers. But here's the master files, and then flower 1 we're making today. All the sizes are set up for you. You just upload that entire file, and that is your flower 1. Flower 2 we'll be making as well. Flower 3 is just a simplified version. It's made exactly the same. Depending on time, I may make it or not, but it's still the same size as you would. How you would style this flower is how you would style that. Okay? They come in PNG and SVG format, and it's available in PhotoFabPaperFlowers Etsy shop. I explain everything in your document, and then you can just go to template 8. Again, it's all set up for you. You don't have to worry about it. But I do have the tools and supplies needed listed for flower number 1 today. And if for some reason you misplace the file for the project, here are the sizes for that if you need to reset it up. And again, flower 2 and 3. Okay? And also the link to the YouTube videos on our project for tomorrow are all linked in here, plus the supplies that I made. So we will decorate our skull. So thank you all for joining. Let me just go back to the comments. You subscribing to us, liking, sharing, commenting, following, all the different terminology here. So we can't wait to see what you'll be making. All right, I need to get your comments, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So again, welcome Christy, Gwen, Jeanette, Grace. We're super excited to have all of you here. So be sure to share the live video for both Forever Petals by Vee and myself, Julie, at PhotoFabPaperFlowers. So flower number 1. She's super pretty. So let me pull up my directions. We're not going to go over the sizes again. Everything's set up for you. So that's what makes it great. So for our supplies, the general supplies, of course, we need our Halloween Spooktacular mini flower bundle, and this is template 8. We're going to use our cardstock. So I am using the Autumn cardstock from Printworks. And the code, again, I keep forgetting what the code is off the top of my head, but I'll add the code in the description like I did yesterday. And that way you can get 15% off eligible products on Amazon. And this is a pack of 200, which is great. So I'm using the orange. I'm keeping it all solid. The green is from their, it's in 2 different paper packs. So I'm just not using the regular green that's in this pack. I'm trying to think what the name of that other pack is. I can't remember off the top of my head. So what do we need? We're going to use our trusty Surebonder mini glue gun, and I like to use the 8-inch Gorilla glue sticks. Why? This glue gun, the stand folds up, which is perfect for when we have to get into the smaller flowers. We have our 1/4-inch soft foam flower shaping mat. Of course, your favorite cutting machine to cut everything. We do need our embossing stylus, which can be purchased from your local Dollar Tree. We're going to be using our color-coded dowel rod, which are offered by myself in my Etsy shop. They come in a set for 6-inch, but you can also purchase the 12-inch or the one Paper Flower Tool Bundle does offer both of them. The larger ones are great for your larger paper flowers as I knock my light. Our metal ball stylus tool, which come in a set of 4 with a different size diameter at either end. And I think that's it for this one. We can stem this. I'm just looking. I'll go ahead and stem it. And I'll explain if you're not stemming it what you would do. So we'll use some needle nose pliers, some wire cutters, and a piece of 18 gauge floral stem wire. So I cut them in half to work at smaller sizes, and I also don't want to poke you. Sorry, I just ran up from the house. I'm a little out of breath. All right, who's excited? Me's wondering what we're going to do today. So let's go ahead and get started from template 8. So when I cut them, I label them and put them in little sandwich bags, plastic bags, and just labeled them. So I knew which ones they were. So let's pull out a flower 1. And for the sepals, you can see I just inked around the edge. So I use black when I'm doing Halloween. So my finger dabber is the same one I've been using. Oops, that goes the other flower. So it'll keep hold of the ink, and you can keep using it until it's totally chewed up, where all the little pieces are falling off. So I like to start at the base, go up the right side, and I'll do that all the way around. Okay, then once we went all the way around, I start at the base again, and I come up towards the top. And by doing this, it goes much faster as you work your way around, okay? And then you're going to do that to both sides. And it gives a little bit extra spookiness. Now for the yellow paper, you could do orange. I do black. But if you wanted to, my favorite orange, and it's, of course, we're using Black Soot Distress Oxide, is Crackling Campfire. So you start at the base again, you go up, up the side. Okay, we work our way around. Now I did wear gloves. I was watching some haunt videos. I love watching the walkthrough of the different haunts. So to get in the mood for Halloween Spooktacular, that's what I was doing while I was inking. Then start at the base and you come down the opposite side. It's slightly pixelated. Hopefully, I did have trouble with the internet a little bit earlier. Hopefully it's getting better. Okay. Hopefully not too much. If it's an issue through the whole video, I will film one. I do have my samples filmed, so. See, it's clear on my phone, but I can see it on the computer a little bit. Okay, and then you would flip it over and do exactly that exact same thing for all your petals. When it gets to the little bit more complicated one, hopefully it doesn't stay pixelated for you. I don't know why it does that. Because it's super clear on my computer screen or on my phone. All right, so here for these, this is what petal? This is center number 2. So for these, I start on the smooth side and go from the base towards the top, just like we do all the other petals. Again, you can use any color. If you didn't want to use black, you can use the orange. And then once you go all the way around, we come down the opposite side. So you start at the center and go towards the top. Oh no, Vee, seriously? We're not ready for a very merry makers weekend yet. We're at Halloween Spooktacular, right? And that's what I do for center number 2. So you can see when I put it down on a piece of paper, the other sheet, you can see the outline. It looks better now. Okay, yep. Maybe the ghosts are taking over here. Now for center 3, to get it on the tips, you can hold it vertical. And again, I'm using black. And I brush it along the tips. And I just keep rotating it. Again, if you don't want to ink, you certainly don't have to, depending on your project. Again, these can be made for any occasion or project that you're working on. Flip it over and do exactly that exact same thing. I hold them vertical and you just brush it on the tips. And then on your scrap piece of paper you have there, you can see I did a little bit of the center, so you can just go in a circular motion and then I just brush out lightly. I want to see the yellow. And then you do the exact same thing. We did the tips already here. So again, circular motion in the center a little bit and then just brush out lightly. I just want to highlight the shape of those fun petals. Okay, so that's how I inked these for our first flower of template 8. All right, so how are we going to style it? So meaning our styling of our petals, so when we assemble them, it creates our flower shape. So for our sepal, just like we did yesterday, we're going to add our veining. Look at me trying to draw a leaf on top of my head. So there's our leaf shape. So for each leaf, we're going to, using our embossing stylus, we're going to draw a line down the center. And I always start at the bottom. And then you're just going to, with embossing stylus, go up the left side. And then I come down. So that's your veining for your leaf. Feel like I have a whiteboard right here. All right, so again, so let's follow that technique. Line down the center. I'm using the larger end, and then just draw your lines towards the center. So you can see it's just going to add a little bit of texture to each leaf. It does curl it up a little bit. Down the center, and then draw your lines. I don't think about it. Don't think about it too much. It does not have to be perfect. It's a leaf. Think when you're walking outside. I love to look at them when I take my walks. Get inspired. And I always have my phone camera ready if I see a great shape of a leaf or a flower petal. People think I'm crazy. I'm zooming in real close. Like, what is she looking at? Just a crumpled leaf there on my path. That's all. I was lucky to be in Hershey, Pennsylvania this morning. I did not go to the chocolate world where they sell all the candy, and you can go through a faux candy factory to see how Hershey chocolate is made. I didn't have time today. But if you do come to Pennsylvania, it's a great place. And at Halloween, the park is open, the amusement park, and it has haunted houses at night. And then at Christmas, it has the sweet lights. So it's super cool. So it's about an hour west of where I live. So a little plug for Pennsylvania. So we will add a little bit more color to my sepals. I like to do it after I add our embossing. So I'm still going to use my black soot. It's a great color, my favorite for Halloween. On my extra scrap paper, I'm just going to brush on some black on each of the petals, just again to highlight the shape. And any inking, flip it over and do exactly that exact same thing. I'm not doing a heavy hand at all, just brush it on. Maybe some are a little bit darker than others, just to give a little bit extra spookiness. And do that to both of your sepals. So thank you all for joining us. We hope you are enjoying Spooktacular. The bundles are still available. They are linked here, so if you didn't get a chance to get them, don't worry. They are 50% off in both of our Etsy shops through the end of the month and most likely through all of November. And we're going to add a little bit of purple because I love to do that. My favorite to add to leaves is seedless preserves. So many of these colors I use throughout the year. You don't have to have a large stash of Distress Oxides. They are not the least expensive tool to buy, but definitely they last forever, at least for me here in PA, and you can re-ink them. So look for the green forest moss. This is additional ink you can add to the pads. And I do have some black soot I picked up. Oh, I just poked myself. So we're going to add a little bit of seedless preserves. And Mia is inking away for her tutorial. Awesome. So I hope everybody had a great day, depending where you're watching from, live or in replay. Last night was super duper fun. I was wired after our tutorial, up super late. So those of you here on the East Coast time, thank you for hanging out last night. A little bit later for us. And that'll give you just a little bit of color. Because why not? Or you could use red if you wanted to. So randomly add it in different spots, the purple. It doesn't always have to be in the same spot. Or you can just literally just pick, maybe you want it on the tips, maybe you want it more at the base. Think of a succulent. That's when I got started with the purple on the leaves. And I couldn't stop. All right. So yesterday we were talking about movies and what gives you more in your fingers. Let's see what else we can talk about today. What questions do I have for you? And we talked about our favorite Halloween candies. Oh, so when you're decorating, do you prefer spooky or creepy, or do you go more the cute route? I know Michael's had some cute items in their decor. So for our sepals, so while I teach you how to style your sepals, Let us know if you like more of the creepy Halloween or more just generic, not generic, but more cute. So we're going to take our purple 1/8 inch dowel rod because we don't want a large diameter because you won't see the curl. So our purple, it's not our smallest. It's our 1/8 inch. So you can see, hopefully see the purple. I have both petals stacked. Place that dowel rod down in the middle of the petal, pinch it up with your thumb and roll. Vee goes more dark and spooky vibes. Girl, me too, as we know from my project. And if anybody knows my past Halloween costumes, I love a good gory costume. I feel like people don't expect it from me. So we're just pinching up the right side, like go and roll. And speaking of costumes then, is anybody dressing up? So now we stack, I had my petals stacked from largest to smallest, so I flipped them over. So we have 3 in petal 1 at 3.5 inches. Why? Just so I can keep track of it for you. Now, since the diameter or the width of our petal is much larger, we can go to a little bit larger dowel rod. So we're going to pull out our olive green dowel rod. We're going to plate with all 3 stacked. Again, if you're newer, just roll 1 petal at a time. So place it down in the middle of the petal, pinch it up with your thumb. Okay, once I have a hold of that, I let go of my left hand and roll it between my fingers. And again, you can see it turns red because I'm pinching hard. And now it took the shape of the petal. Okay, move to your next one, pinch it up, let go, and roll. So I'm trying to figure out my costume for this year. My favorite one is when I dressed as a schoolgirl and I did makeup where a pencil went through my nose. I watched a YouTube video, stopped and started it, and did that makeup. I loved it. It's still my favorite. Or the non-gore one is me dressed as Flo from the insurance, Progressive Insurance. That's everybody else's favorite. All right, so we had 3 in petal 1 at 3.5 inches. We rolled all of them up. You're just going to remove one from the pile and place it on your stack of sepals. Our next is petal 2. We have 3 of those, so I'm going to grab all 3. Keep them stacked. And get them lined up. And now we're still going to take our 1/4 inch dowel rod for these wider petals. So that's our olive green 1/4 inch. So these wider ones, we're going to roll them up. So place it down the middle of the petal, pinch it up, and roll. Just the 3 wider ones. So now you can see petal 1 has 5 petals. Now petal 2 has 6. Thank you, Vee. Now we have skinnier petals in petal 2. So now we're going to use our purple 1/8 inch dowel rod because we want to see the curl. So just pinch it up, let go, and roll. Okay, pinch up, let go, and roll. Thank you all for joining for day 2 of Halloween Spooktacular. The spooky fun continues after I am done. We head over to Forever Petals by Vee's YouTube channel where she'll be doing a live with large template 8. I can't wait to see what she's going to create today. Esther, hi! Welcome in. I was at the wrong channel. Uh-oh. We are glad you're here with us. Petal number 3, we only have 2 of these, and you can see my petals are getting smaller, the width, and of course, the overall size of all the petals. So I'm just gonna line them up. There we go. And we're still gonna use that purple 1/8 inch dowel rod. So place it down in the middle of the petal. You can roll both petals at the same time. Pinch up, let go, and roll. Pinch up, let go, and roll. Or just pinch up and roll. It is a gorgeous day here in Pennsylvania. It's 70 degrees and sunny. How about where you are? Okay, now center number 2, we have 2 of these. Well, these are a fun petal. Again, I inked. However, if you don't want to ink, maybe you don't like to ink around the edges, maybe you want to do the center and just blend it out towards the tip, that's perfectly okay. Now, these are getting super thin, so we're going to switch. So we call it the Julie dowel rod. It doesn't have any color on it. It comes in both the 12-inch dowel rod set and the 6-inch. Or if you don't have my dowel rod set, you want to use anything skinnier than a 1/8 inch dowel rod. So you can see the difference in the diameter of the dowel rods. Okay. I like to roll it in from the right side because I keep the smooth side here on the right because I'm right-handed. Now, if you were left, I would switch it. So still place that dowel rod down. You're pinching up and rolling it between your fingers. Okay, pinch up and roll. Ooh, 78 in Virginia, Gwen. I know tomorrow it's supposed to be much warmer. Yeah, V, you do like the Hershey chocolate. I sent you the chocolate bars I got at a good deal that one year. Does no one else dress up for Halloween? Yes, the Harry Potter. So I'm going to start a separate stack for our centers. Ooh, look at center number 3. She's crazy. All right, so she has a lot of openings. So now we're going to switch to our blue, coastal blue, I like to call it, 3/16 inch. Oh my gosh, what do we all think that Forever Petals by Vee and Florist the Explorers are going to be this year? A couples. I don't know. Now I'm going to roll each of these 3 center 3s separately because you can see the detail. So in each group, so you can grab like one petal here. You're just going to pinch that petal around and roll. It will, I promise you, you'll get some curl. It doesn't have to be super duper crazy. Don't worry if something bends too much. I'm going to have more curl coming in from the right. Are you going to be Sissy and Bud, Urban Cowboy? Please. Ooh, 74 in Florida. That's a little chilly for Florida. That's the perfect temperature, actually. That's when I like to come down to Florida. I pick 'em all. Oh my god, that's hysterical. I think I saw that costume. I love it. I love it. I love it. I wish I was there for Halloween with you all. All right, so again, we're going to take that coastal blue 3/16, and again, you're going to wrap those around. So just pinch them up and roll. So you can see there is a curl to that. If you think you can't curl it, it can be curled. Oh my god, I can't wait to see pictures of you as a pickleball. Who's gonna be the paddle? Him? Flores the Explorers? My hubby will be the Bucky's beaver. Oh my god, Grace. Oh, I guessed it right. Awesome. I'm still trying to figure out my costume for this year. I do have a photo shoot. My niece is a photographer. I told her I want to do one. And of course, I want to do my like creepy makeup, so I need to figure that out. Right now, she's doing a lot of autumn photo shoots for some families here in our area. She was out today and tomorrow. But we still have fun here tomorrow morning as we end Halloween Spectacular with some fun projects. Okay, look at that. So you can see they did curl when you have them stacked. They have some shape to them. So you can curl those crazy shapes. So we're going to work on our flower shaping mat. So when you use the black ink, it does get dirty. Sometimes I'll flip it over, or sometimes I'll just get the brand new one out. All right, so we set a petal one to the side. We had 3 of them. So we're going to take our stack. We're going to assemble layers 1 through 7, which are right here. Flip it over. So petal 1, you have 2 of them left because we're keeping that one off to the side there. Layer 1, since we rolled our petals up, we don't need to roll the center, so I don't do that. I put my finger there always. Roll right where the petals meet the base with your metal ball stylus. It magically lifts those petals up off the tabletop surface. Add a little bit of glue. We're going to look at our top 2 petals and choose one, bring it straight down in between and press. So petal 1 again has 5 petals. Petal 2 switches to 6 petals, okay? We have 3 of them. So we're going to set them on our flower shaping mat. Happy anniversary, Esther. 55 years. I love it. Congratulations. Okay, we're going to roll right where the petals meet the base. And that magically lifts them up. Voila. All right, so what we're going to do, because we're switching from 5 petals to 6, so let's add some glue here on the back. You're going to off-center it a little bit. So I'm going to not go directly in the center. I want them to be off-center a little. Does that make sense? That way the petals hopefully aren't falling directly over. Okay. We're going to rotate it. Add some glue. This is the only time we're not actually like doing it directly in between. So I can see I have a gap there, so I'm just going to go off center again a little bit. So not directly in the center between the previous layer's petals. And then your third one, we add our glue and I'm going to shift it, and now I am going to fill in that gap there with the large petal. And then you can just press it in there with your metal ball stylus. All right, then we have petal 3. So we have 6, so we can just place them in between. So you can separate them. We only have 2 of these. Roll right where the petals meet the base. So you can see it go right around that edge. And it lifts it up nicely. Okay, add some glue. I'm going to go right in between these 2 petals from my previous layer. Again, you think you can't add any more petals in here? You can. Right? She may look awkward, but remember, we have that bottom petal. We're going to fill in those gaps. So don't worry. Add your glue. Oops. Let's press the glue stick in. Add your glue. And again, we're just going to go in between our previous layers petals. And then I use my metal ball stylus to make sure it's in there. She is coming together. She's got great texture. She's like a thorny like petal, like you don't want to touch her. All right, then we have center number 2. We have 2 of these, so we're going to put our flower to the side. Separate our 2 center 2. And then we're going to separate our 3 center 3s. I made that easy. 2 a 2, 3 a 3. We're going to, where the petals meet the base, to lift them up. This is what we call from creating the center out. So we start from the center, so our smallest petals, and then we work larger. We create it here, and then we add glue and place it in the center. So right in the very center, you can roll right in that little spot there. Oops. All right, just choose one. It doesn't matter. Just fold it up. So it looks like fire. I'm going to zoom down a little. We're going to add glue. And I am going around the sides a little, you can see. We're just going to glue it not in between any petals. I'm just gluing it right in the center. Fold up and around. And I do press at the bottom to make sure it's secure. Thank you all for joining to Halloween Spooktacular Day 2. Be sure to share this video to all of your crafty friends. Make sure you're subscribed to us because we will be using YouTube a lot more in the future. But still using Facebook platform as well. Now we're going to add glue again. So if you're new here, let us know. We're happy to have you. We're going to glue it straight down right in the center. Now you can use this as a 2-tone. I tend to use more just one color depending on the flower. I don't know why that is. That's the look I prefer, but you can use, definitely your centers can be a different color. For Halloween, I do try and keep it a little. I'm not going for a realistic flower too much. So we're going to look at this petal. I'm going to bring it straight down. And you can see it fell in between my previous layers. Fold it up and around. So then if you need just a quick bud, a flower bud to tuck in anywhere on your projects, you could stop here and add a small sepal to hold it all together. And it would be a nice crazy little flower. Add some glue. And we're just going to pop it in the center here. And she fits perfectly. Look at that, right in. It's like magic when it happens, friends. I never know when I'm setting up a project what it's going to look like at all. Or even when I'm designing templates. I love to just play with shapes. We start with our main petal shape and then we work from there. And then you can move any of them around if you're not happy. But Chet is gorgeous. I have a glue string. So now we're going to add we still have one petal of petal 1 and 2 sepals. So like I mentioned, we're going to stem. So I'm going to actually add this one first. So flip it over, add some glue, flip your flower over, and this is going to go right in between the previous layer's petals. And you can see how it filled it right in. Again, look at it from the side. I love looking at it because nothing's always directly on. Think of bouquets. So again, this doesn't have to be all inked in black for sure. Or if you don't even want to ink her. All right, for our 2 sepals with them stacked, flip them over. So if you are stemming, you will need the piercing scoring tool. It's from your local Dollar Tree. It comes in a set of 2. We're using the thicker end. With them stacked, always poke your hole the way you're going to stem it onto with the wire. Okay. Take your piece of 18 gauge floral stem wire, your needle nose pliers, and I want to hear you all saying it out loud. Hold the 18 gauge floral stem wire completely vertical. Place your needle nose pliers, the wire in between. Okay, holding nice grip, bend it around. Oh, see, I knew it. Bend it around like a shepherd's hook. That one's a little wider. We're going to squeeze it together, place it back in between your needle nose pliers. Close that loop. There you go. I like to straighten it out as well. There you go. Place it back in between your needle nose pliers, holding it vertical, bend it 90 degrees like a corner. Just like the corner of your mat. Voila. It's like magic. All right. We're going to flip these over real quick. Give them a little, place your metal ball stylus and just roll around in a circle. That lifts the petals up. But remember, I like to add my sepals with them rolled under. If you don't want to do that, you can certainly assemble them with the petals up. Okay, thread it onto your wire. Add some glue on the underside on that little wire loop. Pull your sepal through and let it attach. And we're going to give it a moment. Thank you so much for hanging out, everybody. Again, I am Julie with PhotoFabPaperFlowers. This is our first flower. We're going to make another one real quick. And then we will have Vee do her tutorial. It's shredding apart. That means it's time to get a new dabber. Vee. You are inking away, my friend. Once we know this glue is dry, you're going to add glue on the top, right in the center. Go over that wire, and I'm going to come out just a little bit on each petal. Just be careful with your fingers. Flip your flower over. Place it in the center, and you do want to press down to make sure that attaches. Try not to move it too much. That's what Okay. Once we have it, flip it down, over, thread it with the petals rolled under. This is where we flip up our flower stand. Hold your glue gun and twirl. So you just want glue right in the center around there. You're going to place the sepal petals in between the previous layers and press. So it fills it in nicely, and with them rolled under, look how beautiful she looks from the side. Now, if you weren't stemming it, You can see all I did was glue them with them rolled under. Even that last layer, we added that petal. And then here it is in red. So they look the same. I have some glue strings. And sometimes I ink a little bit heavier, but this one has the purple, the villainous potion. We're going to do a red flower next, so you'll see the purple. She's so beautiful. So that is our flower 1 with template 8. Now, you can also, remember it has leaves. Each template has its own set of leaves. And you can see I like to add the black and seedless preserves. And I add veining to each leaf. And then I roll them with my dowel rod. Sometimes I roll them up. This one I rolled under. So to give it some shape. And then also, so it's not so flat, I roll down the center. Okay, so there's 2 different shape leaves. You can see one is a longer leaf, and then this one's a little bit wider. So they look beautiful with your flowers. And that is template 8 mini flower, flower 1. Our second flower, I like to do a crazy one every year. And flower 3 is just a lot less layer one. So if you didn't want to do as many layers, you certainly don't have to. Okay. So I'm going to do the full layered one, but you'll style the third flower exactly the same. So again, the project comes all set up. So this is flower 2 project. Upload it into your machine's design space. I provide you all the directions on how to do it. And template 8 in my machine's design space looks like this. So here's my master files. That was flower 1 we just made. You can add the date. I normally will do that. And I label on flower 1, flower 2, 3. And it's my project name is Halloween Spooktacular 2025. Okay, and then flower 3. All right, so for our sepals, just like we did with our first flower, you're going to take your embossing stylus. Now this one you could use the smaller one. I'm always afraid I'm going to poke through the paper, but I will give it a try. I like working with the larger end. So we just wanted to have a little bit of texture. So you can ink around the edges, and I will show you what I did with the petals in a second. So I still do the line, and I still color back and forth. I'm basically just coloring back and forth down each side of that line. I generally will style my sepals first, so you're seeing that me do that. I do that when I'm just working on my own as well. So again, I'm just doing that technique on each of the petals. So thank you all for joining. We hope you're enjoying it. Let's see some ghosts if you like our videos or today's flower that we just finished here. I'm going to add a little bit more black to my sepals to keep them consistent. So I'm literally just brushing from the tip of the petal out, I'm sorry, from the base to the tip. I just had tacos, so I had lunch and dinner combined. So add a little bit more black base towards the tip. You can just brush some on. And then we're going to add just a little bit of purple like we did previously. Ooh, yes, the sepals. So pretty. Oops. Oh my God, friends. Seedless preserves. Now the leaves that I do use and showed you, you can cut them larger to use with your flower set. So don't forget you can do that as well. So add a little bit of purple for some color variation. So maybe you want some just more on the tips. I randomly do it differently. You can see this one has more purple. Maybe one has it more at the base. Just add that little bit of purple. So with the red, I like to use Villainous Potion, which is what I did here. So you can see all of these petals. This is super duper textured. So to style these, again, I have it labeled flower 2. I'll quick show you. So with orange, so our sepal is exactly how I showed you for flower 1. For this one, it is, this is center number 1. So with orange, I like to do black. So starting at the base, go out towards the tip. This needs some ink. Okay. So it will get on those little tentacle pieces. You're just going to go down the sides, and if it got chewed up when it was cutting, that's okay. Ooh, I love seeing all those ghosts. Thank you so much, friends. Ghouls, goblins, Veeples, J-Crew, thank you so much for hanging out, live or in replay. We truly do appreciate it. Thank you for supporting us by purchasing the bundles, sharing, commenting. We love it. And we love to collaborate and bring you these exclusive events, and we hope you love them too. So starting from the center, you just come down the opposite side then. So this kind of reminds me of a bug with his little feet or the little tentacles down each side. And that's all I do. And again, I'm not being precise. I never am, even if I was making wedding flowers and inking. So you can see when I put it next to the other petals, how you can see the ink. So I do all of those petals that way. And again, we had this petal before. I like to start going down one side. I work my way all the way around, and then you come down from the center towards the tip. It's not precise. Again, don't worry about it. Okay, so we'll do that exactly the same way. And same way for these, you can do a little bit in the center. You can brush out very lightly. And then I hold it vertical. Well, I didn't do the center too much on these. You can brush it on the tips. And flip it over. Most of this you're only going to see the tips. So to keep my inking fast, I then just brushed right at the tips a little bit. And you can see that here. Okay, so that's how I inked flower 2. Hopefully all that makes sense. Any questions, comments, concerns? And then for red, I like to use Villainous Potion. So instead of black, I just use the purple. Okay, for our two sepals, we're going to use that Julie Alrod. These are super thin, skinny petals now. We're much smaller, so we need to have a variety of size flowers. So we're going to take the one that doesn't have any color coding. It's the Julie, named after moi. Anything skinnier than 1/8 will work. It has to be round. Pinch up and roll. She is tiny and detailed. This flower, wait till you see. Well, if you saw the picture, she's super textured. I love a good, fun, funky flower. Makes my heart happy. Oh, am I showing pixelated again? Why? One second, just make sure it's not so pixelated. We're going to flip our stack over from largest to smallest. So we have 3 of center 1 at 2.5 inches. I wonder why it keeps doing that. All right, so all 3 at 2.5 inches, we're going to take our purple 1/8 inch dowel rod. We're going to roll the petals up. So place it down the middle of the petal, pinch up with your thumb, and roll. Oh, goodness, why is it? So weird because it's clear on my screen. I have a good internet connection. I'm showing all bars everywhere. So thank you for joining, everyone. We know it's Saturday. You may have plans on this gorgeous fall day, but we truly do appreciate it, you hanging out with us. So we just rolled all of those petals up. Now we have 2 of center 1 at 2.25 inches. So exactly that same technique. We only roll petals of the same size together. Stack them evenly on top of one another. And now we're going to switch to that Julie dowel rod, which is named again after me. It's anything skinnier than the 1/8, and it's the one that's not color coded, regardless if you have the 12-inch dowel rod set or the 6-inch. You do get 2 of them because some of you tend to break these. Nathan, welcome in, and Tina. You're doing a workshop. And Tina neglected to remind you of the class to tune in. Esther's cutting some large paper flowers. Awesome. It's the weekend. We like to get crafty. I have my shirt. It's tricky, tricky, tricky on with some ghosts. And tomorrow I'm going to wear my skeleton one in honor of our project. All right, center number 2. We have 2 of these at 2 inches wide, so make sure the curve is on the right if you're right-handed. We're still going to use that Julie dowel rod. We're going to place it and go at a slight angle because these are getting tiny. Pinch it up and roll. So you can see it has that curve. So we are on flower 2, a template 8 mini flower from the mini flower Halloween Spooktacular 2025 mini flower bundle. They are 50% off. The large paper flower bundle is available in Forever Petals by Vee's work Etsy shop, and the mini flower in mine. And I am using Printworks paper, and I do have the code in the description for you to get 15% off. So thank you, Printworks, for that, and thank you for the paper. So I like to cut my 65-pound cardstock on a light cardstock setting. Then we have 3 of center 3. So individually, So you can see more of my inking is around that edge. We're going to use the Julie dowel rod. And again, just like we did before, you take those individual petals and just wrap those little curly pieces around. So you can see it got a curve to it. Just, you do have to do one at a time. You can't stack these just because the little pieces will get all intertwined. So thank you all. I'm excited. Is anybody going to make my candlestick project with the skull? We're going to stack those all separately there. Sorry, one second. So we do have a question. What's your favorite color combination for speed blooms? Classic orange and black? Or do you go unexpected? Do you add a little bit of glitter paper? Okay, you're folding up and around. I love these little discussion questions. All right, so you can see it's creating some little bit of curl to each petal. And as most of you may be aware or not, we do continue to work with our templates, which is why I gave you the master file project. So that way, when I do additional flower tutorials, you can then set that up in your machine's design space and have them cut. And Forever Petals by Vee will continue to make additional flowers with that template as well. So it does show the versatility that we just don't make it one way, all of our templates. Ooh, red and black and green and purple. Ooh, I love it. I tend to use the red, orange, and yellow combo with black ink or the dark purple, as you see. All right, that's our styling. So now we're going to take layers 1, 2, and 3, which is center 1. We have 3 of them at 2.5 inches. The hardest part is separating these because all the little fine little tentacles, we'll call them. We're going to take our second to smallest metal ball stylus. Layer 1, you don't roll the center. Layer 2, roll right around where the petals meet the base. Add some hot glue right in the center. We're going to look at our top 2 petals, look at that petal, and bring it straight down in between. So now you're going to get a nice idea of what our flower will look like. So it's super duper fun. We're going to rotate it, look at our top 2 petals, look at a petal, and bring it straight down. Take our next 2, which is still center 1. We have 2 of them at 2.25 inches. Separate these. Hardest part. Oh my goodness. Whoop. Okay. Keeping the petals rolled up. Roll right where the petals meet the base. Oh my god, glue strings everywhere today. We're going to look at our last top 2 petals of the last layer. We're just going to choose one and bring it straight down. Our size did change, so just make sure you're straight in the center. That's why I like to stand directly over it so I can make sure I'm keeping it even. And look at her. She is super duper textured. Yes, I am moving you. Hold on. It's always a little dangerous when I'm doing that. Since it's much smaller, I wanted to zoom in a little. Okay, we're going to choose 2 petals here. We're going to bring a petal down right in between. Look how fun she is. Oh, she's got great personality. Well, isn't there always a technology hiccup, Vee? You know that? We're going to separate the 2 petals. This is center 2, and then we have 3 of center 3. So we're going to create these from the center out. So as I previously explained, that means we start from the smallest, work to the largest, create it, hot glue it, pop it in the center. Now this one, again, you can use 2 different colors if you want to for the very center, or maybe these 5 petals. I did make one where I used 2 different colors. So I will show you that when we are done. All right, so we're just going to fold these up, and I fold it in half and then just randomly gather it. You're going to add glue right to that bottom part and a little bit around the sides. Why a little bit around the sides? Because we want it to grab on. Place it directly in the center. Fold it up and around. Add some glue a little bit around the sides. Place it into your next one. Okay. Fold it up and around. Now you can add additional ink if you wanted to add black. I like just the purple. Yeah, I can never say that one. Anemone? I think it's Anemone. I'm not sure. And then we're going to go into center 2. Place it right in the center. Yes, that's right. I can never pronounce it though. Add some glue. Now I'm going to attach this from the back. So looking at these 2 petals, I'm going to bring this petal right in between. Okay, that petal went in between those 2, and the other one should fall right in there. Fold it up and around. Add some glue. Now, I'm going to look at 2 petals from our previous layer. I'm going to look at that petal. This petal is going to go in between those 2. Bring it straight down and plop it in there. Oh, it is so pretty in red. I think this is my favorite. Oh my goodness, it's so pretty. Look. This would be great for the red hat ladies. Do you have that in your area? Where they wear the red hats and purple usually? Oh, it's so pretty. Now, do you want, I'm not going to stem this. Well, maybe I should. I'm just looking at my skull. One second, I'm going to determine if I want to stem it or not. I like the red. If you were going to stem it, I would pierce. I'm not going to stem this one. Flip them over, pierce your hole in the center just like we did. Take your 18 gauge floral stem wire and then you would just attach it with that. Just because these are smaller, I'm thinking this one might go on my hat, so I have another red one. I will stem it for you. Okay, we're going to pierce the hole, sorry, right in the center. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Okay, take your needle nose pliers, place that wire in between the needle nose pliers, bend it around like a shepherd's hook. Okay, place it back in between your needle nose pliers, squeeze that hook shut. Oh gosh, close your eyes. Squeeze it shut and straighten it out. A lot smaller, but we'll be okay. Bend it 90 degrees. Try and make it as small as possible. But this is Halloween and I can hide it with the Spanish moss and everything. We're going to thread it on to our 18 gauge floral stem wire. I like to thread them with the petals rolled under. On the underside of your wire loop, you add some glue. Again, try and get that loop as small as possible because these are small. We pull it all the way through so it grabs. Okay, then I'm going to add some glue on top, and you definitely want to add some glue on top of your wire. I like to go out, oops. Add a little bit of glue out each base of the petal. Flip your flower over. We're going to place these petals in between the previous layer. Press down. And then we're going to thread our second one on. But before so, you're going to flip it over with the petals rolled up. Roll right around the base. Flip over. Thread it on to your wire. I folded mine down as you saw. Okay, hold your glue gun and twirl, keeping it right around your wire, right at the base. Okay, I'm going to thread this down and place the petals in between the previous layer. And press. Isn't she fun? Thank you. Now pull that second layer down. We always need to have a super fun textured flower. And then you can shape her. She's very whimsy, spooky. Now let's look at it not stemmed. So here you go. Two-toned. I wasn't a fan of the two-tone. I think because I do a lot of things solid. I'll still use it. I did do two-tone for white and craft paper. Again, I'm loving it in the red. This is my favorite one. This one didn't get very good. I'm not a fan of that one. Now, I told you there is a flower 3. It's exactly the same thing, but with less layers. Okay, so if you want a little bit smaller, you're going to style it exactly the same way. So I'll make a video, but I don't think it's necessary for us to go through it because it's exactly the same flower, except we just eliminated the outer 2 layers. And you'll style it exactly the same way. Okay, so whether you like it stemmed or not stemmed, you can still glue these on. Whether you want two-tone, solid, it's up to you. For the yellow, you can see I did my inking with the campfire just in the center, and I did black around the edges. And this one we could definitely, scrunch it up to make it fit in between somewhere else. So that's why I wanted something a little bit more open, but I like a full flower, so. So depending on the look that you're going for. So that's flower 3 project. Exactly the same flower, just a little bit less layers. So thank you so much for joining. That is Template 8 Mini Flower from Halloween Spooktacular 2025. So let's just bring them back for one last look. That was flower 1. Oh, that's the wrong flower. There we go. I was bringing back in yesterday's template. And then you can add some leaves. And there you have it. You have all our flowers, so that way we can add it to our skeleton candlestick project tomorrow. So thank you all for joining us. We are, how many minutes do you need, Vee, to get started? So right now it's 5:25 Eastern time. So just let me know in the comments and then we'll end this. Yeah, so thank you for joining us. Whether you're here live or watching in replay, we truly do appreciate it. So we're going to give you about a 15-minute intermission to use the facilities, grab a snack, maybe a drink. It's Saturday night, friends. Or Saturday night here in the East, in the Eastern time zone, still afternoon on some of your other areas if you're watching live. So thank you so much. We're going to head over page around 5:40, 5:45 or so. So just be on the lookout for her to go live. And thank you so much for joining me today, Julie here at PhotoFabPaperFlowers. I'll see you in the comments at Vee's page. Bye.